Hi, this is Mark Littleton, the minister of the Word for the Athens Church of Christ, with today's 3-minute sermon. I want to share with you today something that the Apostle Paul says about Christ followers in Colossians 1 and verse 11. He says that we're strengthened with all power according to God's glorious might. There's an old story I heard about a Persian king who was constructing a beautiful palace for himself and his family to live in. As a part of this construction, he decided to order some beautiful mirrors all the way from France. Well, those mirrors were shipped and they arrived there in Persia, and they were getting ready to put them into the palace when they discovered that somehow in transit, those mirrors had been broken. Well, rather than just discarding them and starting over or doing without, they decided they would take those broken mirrors and they would break the glass of those mirrors down even further into even smaller pieces. And then they took those pieces of glass and they glued them together and they formed a beautiful mosaic that everyone in the kingdom admired. You know, that's a beautiful picture, I think, of what happens in our lives as well. Our lives are broken and crushed by sin. But when Jesus comes into our lives, not only does he take those broken pieces and put them back together and forgive us of our sin, but he also gives us strength, as Paul says. He strengthens us in our inner being with his glorious might. And the end of verse 11 goes on to say that this is for all endurance and patience with joy. What's going to enable us to have the patience that we need and the endurance that we need with all that we have to go through in our lives, and to even do that with an attitude of rejoicing and joy? It's because we find strength in our Lord. We find strength in Jesus, who puts our lives back together and forms a beautiful mosaic out of them. And so my challenge for you today, friend, if you don't know Jesus, I encourage you, study his life. See what he said about himself in the Bible. Read the Gospels. See what he has done on the cross to pay for the sin debt of the world if they will simply accept it. If you don't know him, I pray today you would decide to know him and to follow him. My challenge to you today, if you are a Christ follower, is give thanks to the Lord today for his wonderful and marvelous grace in taking the pieces of your broken life and putting them back together, and then giving you the strength you need to live your life day by day with endurance and patience and joy. Have a blessed day. Lord willing, we'll see you again tomorrow for another 3-minute sermon. God bless.